power circle mentality.
All right, family, we back, man. PCN, this is episode 6, right? Episode 6, man. We got another great one in store for y'all. Why you need to forgive yourself and let go of all regrets. This is one that I can relate to. I can relate to a lot because, over the years, I think we all accumulate regrets. It's just something that happens. I think some are more serious than others, but obviously, I don't think. I mean, like having regret. I think it shows you the error in your ways and like how you need to make better decisions. I think the problem is when you hold on to it. I think like if you make a mistake and you learn from the lesson, that's different than having regret over something, right? It's like if I did something to hurt you on accident and I learned from that and I took that in as a lesson and I never did it again, that's like learning from it. And then I felt like if I torture myself over whatever I did to you constantly, that's regret. And I think, we do that a lot. We do that a lot. I know I've done it multiple times. And it's not good and it won't help you in the long run. It'll just suck your energy, make you feel tired. And there really is no benefit. So I think that as people, we have to learn how to trust ourselves more, how to forgive ourselves more. And like, I'm very hard on myself, very critical. I think we all are our worst critics. Yeah. But you also have to be able to take a step back and forgive yourself. Because, you are a human being. And sometimes we do stupid stuff. Even though we're the most intelligent life form on the planet, we still make dumb mistakes and dumb choices and do stupid stuff. And I think that like we said in our last episode, a part of the journey of life is just learning from those mistakes. And some of the greatest men and women in the world, the mistakes they made launched them into success. They allowed those mistakes, they learned from those mistakes, and they capitalize off it. And that's the difference between a lot of people. Some people, they lose, they make a mistake and they let it torture them. They have regret, never asking that girl out, never going for that job, you lost that fight, whatever it is, you lost you lost out on an investment, you cheated on your girlfriend, whatever it is, and you beat yourself up out of that. And eventually it just keeps eating away at you.
Yeah.
So
well said. I mean, that's one reason. I feel like main reason why you should forgive yourself. I mean, because if you don't, in the long run, you won't do anything but be miserable.
Yeah,
depressed.
Yeah, you're depressed.
You won't be happy with yourself. Like, man, I did this. Dang, I regret that. Now that you regret it, you thinking on it more. Like, man, why did I just do that?
Yeah,
like, man,
right.
Exactly.
Now it's just sucking your energy.
Exactly. Like, true story. A good friend of mine, father, he pretty much had 20-something thousand saved, right? He wanted to be flashy, so he decided to buy a Jaguar. I mean, a family member, of course, from a family member, he took over the lease, but no, that doesn't. Anyway, long story short, he like, I give it to you for $20, and you still got to take over the lease, but you're only gonna be paying this much a month. Whatever, he did it. Spent his whole savings on a Jaguar, and now all of a sudden he like, man, why did I just do this? Now I don't have the savings no more. I'm regretting it. I feel like
I just blew all my money.
It's not funny, but it's just like you just blew all your money. Now you're regretting it.
Yeah.
So now exactly, you end up being depressed, start drinking because of that. Just look a certain way.
Yeah, and those little mistakes, bro, can affect your life. Like something as little as that, like that's just buying the car.
Exactly.
And like that led him on a spiral. And it is little stuff like that. I mean, it could be anything. Everybody like reacts to pain differently. So it could be something as little as you made a bad investment. And then like I think another thing Vincent was talking about is like like I don't know. Regret is just something that you have to deal with. You try to make better decisions. Like I said, it's the difference between making a mistake and trying to learn from that mistake and regret. When you regret something, you're sitting in it and you're letting it torture you, right? And when you make a mistake, you learn from it, you reflect on it, you accept the pain, you sit on it, and then you let it pass. Because it's like Vincent said, every day you wake up, that's a new day. So you gotta leave the stuff that you did in the past in the past.
Absolutely. No. Go ahead.
was gonna say, I feel like too, like, you know, in life they say that, let's say you got into it with somebody or somebody made you upset, like, you shouldn't hold or harbor that type of hatred for somebody in your life either. So it's like, I feel like you should come first on that list of priority to forgive yourself if anything happened. Like, you shouldn't hold that hate or anger towards yourself, because we see the effects that it has when you have that type of hate for somebody else in your heart. So, you know, you can only imagine the type of effect it would have on you. You know, like that eat you up inside, tear you apart, because that's what it does when, you know, you have those feelings for someone else. So
Exactly.
I think it starts with, you know, you.
Exactly. So going off of feelings or pretty much relationships, feels like I got done telling y'all. Man, you wasn't here. So pretty much, I'm just getting out of a situationship. I'm hurt. I'm a little heartbroken. I ain't gonna lie, but at the same time, it's just like, man, fuck her, man. Fuck her. Because it's just like I don't know. And the only reason why I have to tell myself that is because it's just like, for the reason why we broke up, it's just like, damn. Yeah, I didn't cheat or anything, but I don't want to have that thought. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, was it my fault or was it something I did?
I already started regretting it. Like, no,
right.
it's my fault.
Shouldn't I did this differently?
And that's doing nothing but pulling you
Exactly,
down.
pulling me down. But in reality, if I tell myself, like, fuck it, let's keep going, man. It is what it is.
No, I feel like, man, once you like a high value man, like you working, you got something going on, you got your own place, you know, you got investing, boom, girls gonna come. Like girls gonna come, bro. There are always gonna be more girls in the world, but I feel
millions.
I feel like as a man get older, like we just become more wiser, more like financial, like, so we gonna always have like the upper hand.
Well, and you know, and then that's why, you know, you also have to live your life a certain way so you don't have those regrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why you gotta like try to, you know, I mean, you can't, nobody can see the future, but you know, we were just talking about chess before this episode started. It's like you gotta always make the best move in your life. And I feel like if you prioritize making the best move in your life all the times, you're gonna cut down on those regrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to have regrets when you put your best foot forward, even if it didn't work out for you, and you made the best move possible. You know what I mean? It's hard to have regret. I think regret starts coming in when you do stuff you know you shouldn't do, and then you get a negative result. And then sometimes you're just not mature enough. Like there's a certain situation in my life that I had a lot of regret towards, and it was just because I wasn't mature enough at the time to like take the proper care of the situation. But I had to go through that because now I'm more mature and I learned from that, and I took that lesson with me, and I embraced that lesson. But I did let it beat me up for a long time. I had a lot of regret over it. But it just got to a point where it's like it's doing much more harm than good.
It's not serving.
And you know, that's all regret is. It doesn't serve you. It really does. It just makes you feel bad about yourself, and it makes you a victim. It really makes you a victim.
Don't ponder on it. Just
You can't ponder on stuff. You know, I mean, I think that when it first happens, I think it's natural to reflect on it. But after that, you got to move on.
Yeah, just let it go.
You know, you talk to some people, and there's some people in my family like this. They still going on about situations that happened 20, 30 years ago. They're still talking about people that are dead today and talking bad about that person. And it's like, that person is gone, but you're still holding on to that stuff. So that means that person from the grave still has power over you. Like, they still got power over you even though they're dead. And it's like, I don't think people do that. And I catch myself doing it too sometimes. It's still like stupid stuff. Somebody says something to you, like you should have said this back to them or something. Like just, you know, it could be little stuff like that. But I think that when you stop having so much regret, you stop giving people your power. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You feel, I think that when you allow what people say to you and stuff to affect you, and you wish you would have did this or you wish you would have handled the situation differently, that stuff just, like Bruce said, it limits your freedom and it allows people to have power over you.
That creates a weak man.
Yeah, seriously.
Weak man.
You know?
Mentally.
Yeah, mentally, for real. It drains you. It drains you.
I feel like you should just let it go. Like whatever happened, all right. Like, so it happened. There's nothing you can do to redo the past. All right, so it happened. Let go and just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
I mean, that's, you know, this, you know, it's not always as easy as that, but that is, you know, that's the formula though. For real.
That's it.
That's it. You know, I mean, you know, death certain things happen. Those things obviously take longer to get over. But you have to realize also that, like, you know, maybe you did something wrong to a person, a partner or something, and you feel bad. And, you know, it's okay to feel bad, and you should realize the mistake you made to that person. But you also have to take that lesson and never do it again. You know, if you did something that, you know, yeah, just move on, embody the lesson, and be proud of your past, be proud of who you are. I mean, you know, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. You know, anybody can come on here and act like they're perfect, but, you know, we're all human beings. We all have our own flaws. You just have to love yourself and embrace yourself and forgive yourself.
Say Jesus wasn't perfect.
Nobody was perfect. You know, nobody's perfect. You have to embrace yourself, embrace your flaws, and just don't let situations hold you down. You know, when I moved to Ohio, there was a lot of stuff that I wish I would have did differently in Michigan and Detroit, and that like weighed on me for a long time. But then it was just like, it got to a point where I'm just like, I can't do anything. Like, I can't go back in the past to change who I was back then or change my decisions. What I can do is use all the stuff I've learned from Michigan to help me become a better person now. And, you know, I believe I've done that. So you got to try to just flip the narrative on its head, I feel like, and take your power back.
Yeah. Well,
That's real.
Yeah, you know. I think you gotta take your power back. So like, can y'all give some examples of regret that y'all faced or anything, and like how y'all overcame that? Well, Vince, you kind of did a little bit with yours, but Bruce, do you have any examples or anything, or Meryl? Anything y'all kind of overcame? I mean, me personally, it was like my dad passing away, and me feeling like I should have did more in a relationship and stuff like that.
In that regard, yeah.
You
I was
know.
gonna say, like, my grandma, she passed last year, and like I spoke at the funeral because I felt like I had to, because I felt so much regret of not like visiting her more in like her last year, because I knew her health was declining and going in a bad direction, and I should have spent those extra moments of time with her, but I was always like, you know, I'm busy, I'm tired, I'm at work, I don't got the time to do it. So in that moment, you know, like I didn't plan to speak at the funeral. You know, I said I didn't want to speak, but when they made that last call, I told myself, if I don't go up there and say this to everybody, that I'll regret this probably for the rest of my life. So I went up there and I just told everybody, you know, give people their flowers while they're still here. Yeah. Spend time with those that you love. You know, even if you're busy all the time, you never that busy. Like, you could take a few minutes, 5 minutes, you just pull it up on somebody, say what up, all right, I'll see you, something like that. Yeah. You know, so I felt like that was a situation where if I didn't do that, I would have had that regret in my heart until the end. So, yeah.
That's powerful. That's
deep. I probably needed to hear that because my grandma was actually going through the same thing.
I'm sorry,
health conditions.
Oh man.
And just like y'all know I'm off of my job. I'm always in the area, inspecting houses, buildings, whatever. I'm always in the area that she lives in.
Right.
And I do not stop by.
Right.
I do not. I mean, because I'm not trying to be funny. I love my God. I love God. I believe in Him with all my heart.
Yeah.
But, however, you know what it's like, man. It's like, when you go see grandma, man. You living right for the Lord, right? You coming back anytime now. It's just like,
it's an investment of time.
I was just about to go to the bar with my boy. Like, damn, man. Now you just, man. Now I don't even want to go no more. I'm about to go and read my Bible.
Pray right quick. Right. No, that is true. So, that's a good point. And you know, like y'all said about people, like, and you know, I think we could all do a better job, man. Same thing with me, my grandma. Like, when I come down here, I don't always make it a point to see her. I should. I love her. Last time I came down here, I did spend some time with her. But you know, that happens, you know, and I feel like just being young, I just feel like we don't always appreciate that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the saying is true when they say you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. Like, that is the truest thing ever. It's just a human inclination, I feel like, that we have. But you know, Bruce and Vince, they both make good points. I think that another thing that we haven't touched on and may be good too is, I think, regret. Certain things can spur you into action. Like Bruce said, when he didn't want to like necessarily speak at his grandma's funeral, but then he thought, if he doesn't do it right now, he's gonna regret this, and that like gave him the motivation, the energy he needs to get up there and speak. Yeah. So I do feel like sometimes you could use regret in a good way, right? You could fail at something, and then you could be like, okay, you're presented with an even bigger opportunity, and now you use that, you know, to do what you got to do. So I do think that regret can be used in a good way. I think the biggest thing is just not adopting a victim mindset.
That,
You know,
oh my god.
because that's going to do nothing but tear you down. So I think the best thing, is not adopting a victim mindset. Always stay
So
strong.
many people in the world with that mindset.
Yeah.
Just be like, bro,
You know.
every time you talk to them, they blaming everybody else, blaming everything in the world for their problems. And it's just like, come on,
That's a
man.
problem we got nowadays.
Yeah, you can't hang with nobody like that either.
No, you don't want to be around people.
Especially when you grown. Like I can see like you a kid still. You don't really know no better yet, but like you're an adult. Like you have to start holding yourself accountable for things.
No,
Like,
you
know.
speaking facts though. Yeah, we got a lot of like men child and stuff running around nowadays.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah. Like the way I was brought up was to never regret anything. It just happened for a reason.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Or for a teaching moment or a teaching lesson,
A lesson.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So now, that was actually my first time actually saying I regret anything
Wow.
with that situation.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like,
It just happened.
it just happened.
I mean, I think that's if you got the right attitude towards life, I think that's the way everybody should live, bro. Because I feel like, bro, if you live like holding on to what everybody says, to regretting this, regretting that, your life is filled with anxiety and just worry. It's like, but when you gotta like let go of some stuff, control what you control, and let go of what you can. It sounds cliche, but it's the truth. I feel like, and I'm this person, I'm a control freak, I'm not even gonna lie. I like everything like to be one way. I like to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? I like to feel like I have things under control. I don't like when things feel like,
It's unexpected.
But in life, the thing I'm learning is like you just gotta roll with that stuff. You can't control everything. And it's like even if you plan stuff, bro, 100 steps ahead, something may happen and throw a wrench in your plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you
Life
gotta
is
be
life.
adaptable. Life is life. Like, bro, I live in Ohio now. I never would have thought I lived in Ohio.
Right.
But all these different things happen now I'm in Ohio. And me moving to Ohio was a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But if somebody would have asked me, like, did you want to go to Ohio? Hell no, I want to go to Ohio. But it's it's like, you
I was
know,
sick when you had to go to Ohio.
we ain't gonna talk about that. But it worked out though. It worked out. And like Vincent said, man, you just gotta live your life. And like Vincent said, the stuff that happens to you is a lesson. Everybody, I don't want to go too off topic, but there's always somebody out there who has it worse than you. And you have to, like Bruce said, have gratitude for your life, love your life, and just understand that everything's gonna be okay in the end.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Things always work out in the end. And I feel like if you look over your life, I can say this for me, and I'm sure you guys can say this for you. Things have always worked out for me.
Right.
I've always found a way to get through my problems. I've always found a way to survive. Things just happen. It ain't always been pretty, and it hasn't always been easy, but I've always found a way to make it to the next day. And I feel like sometimes you gotta live life like that.
all the time. I mean, like I said, well, me, the way I was taught and raised was just be a man.
Just be, it's for real though, bro. Just
If
face
things
it.
gonna happen, just face it. I mean, you gonna get knocked down, but
Get up.
just get up.
No, you're right. Yeah.
That's how my mom was. Like anytime we was upset, like when we was growing up, crying about something, like what are you crying for? Like that's not helping you at
No,
all.
it's not.
Like, and that's why I look at, and it's funny too because a lot of people look at that now and they be like, well, it's okay to cry about certain things, but I feel like it worked for me because now I look at everything in life and I rarely do get upset. Like I look at everything like, dang, well somebody probably going through a lot worse right now, so why would I be upset about this right now?
Yeah.
So like I feel like I use that as more of a positive like catalyst to keep going forward, while some people might not look at it that way, but yeah.
No, absolutely, bro. That's a good point. And like one last thing I want to touch on before we wrap up, because we only got a couple minutes left, is don't live your life the way you want. And like there's a quote, I like this quote. It says, I think scream even if your voice is shaking, or say what you think even if your voice is shaking. And it's basically just speak your mind at all times. Live your life on your terms. Like you're the author of your own story. Don't let life determine the outcome for you. Right? Live your life the way you want. You automatically, we all have things that we're born into this world with, or certain circumstances that we can't control, right? You may have a health issue, a money problem. I mean, that's controllable, but you know what I mean. There's different factors that go into your life, but you control your actions. You control what you think every day. what you say and how you react to the things that you're presented with on a daily basis. So you choose your life. Don't live a life full of regret. I think the worst thing, even worse than like dying unexpectedly, is living a long life and not being fulfilled. Getting to like 70, 80, 60, whatever the age is, and not being happy with your life. Like just looking back over your life, like this ain't work, that ain't work. I didn't really. No, you can go.
I'm go ahead.
I know I'm ranting. All I was about to say, I was gonna end with this. I think that even if you tried a bunch of shit and it didn't work out for you, you'd be much more happy and fulfilled knowing you at least went after it. And it didn't work. Instead of you, because if you never did it, then you always have that thought, like, if I did do it, did it work?
Yeah, that's why Big Sean got an album about that. It's called I Decided. And literally on the intro, it's literally him at the end of his life. And he just saying, like, he talking to God, basically saying, like, I've been working this job for my whole life. You know, I don't know what my purpose is. I hate it. You know, these kids that's growing up in my family, they living their life, they enjoying themselves, and I can't ever say I had that for myself. And he just regretted it all in the end. And like, as the album went forward, like basically he went back in time somehow, and he basically got to do it how he would have did it, you know, that way around. So I always thought that was deep, because it's like, dang, like, I don't want to get to that.
No,
point,
bro, that's sad, bro.
That's messed up. Like, you don't got nothing to be proud of. That's what he was saying. Like, that's crazy. Like, you want to be the author of your story instead of a character in it, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, you want to control your life.
Yeah, if it don't work, try something else.
Exactly.
You know?
Try it till it works, man.
It's not killing you to try something else. Like,
But yeah, man, don't get to like 50 or 60 and look back in your life and just
I
like,
wish I would have started.
yeah, man.
Telling your kids,
man, it's too
your
late
kids.
It's too late now.
Like, it is, but it's not.
It's like,
As long as you breathe,
Hey, you can still do stuff.
because like KFC, he didn't start until he was 60.
That's true.
Exactly.
No, that is true.
Like,
Man, he was 60 bro when he started?
Yeah, he was
Wow.
old, bro.
Damn.
He was old.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like,
At that
it's
point.
never too late. It's really not.
It's not,
You
though.
know, and
No,
I try
that
to
is
tell
true.
some of the older family members in my family like that, when they feel like, you know, they're in that lower frequency or vibration, like life ain't going good. You know, I made a lot of bad decisions and mistakes, and that's just their reality right now. Like, I try to tell them those things to get them out of that mindset, because it's not over until you dead.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
No, yeah, man. You still breathing. You got a chance to make an impact on the world.
100%.
Yeah, man. So that's all we want to come to you with today is, you know, live with no regrets. Don't get to the end of your life and be on your deathbed, or, you know, and just have all these regrets about not being with the person you wanted to be with, or, you know, not having the home you wanted to have, or not going after that job. And, you know, for everybody, like we said, man, success is different. You know, you might not want to be a multimillionaire. You might not want to have a supercar. You might just want to have a nice family. Get that. Make sure you have that. Like, make sure your dreams come true. And I think even if they don't, you'd be a lot happier knowing that you at least tried. You at least tried to go after, at least tried to make them happen.
That's real.
So I just want to leave y'all with, like Vincent said, man, be a man, be a strong woman, face your issues head on, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know, God take care of you. So, y'all boys got anything y'all want to say before we close it out?
Good.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, you know, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.
Take care.
All right.